Hello, my name is Dr. Shambles, and today we're gonna be doing the first theory crafting on on Purple Enel. I'm really excited for this deck, and I will be maining this deck on OP15, and I kind of just want to build up the hype on this deck, so you guys know that my channel will be featuring a lot of gameplay on the deck and a lot of guides on the deck and so on, and how to play the deck. And so this video first is to two things: show you guys every single card that got announced in case you guys are not two things, no, maybe more than two things. Show you guys every card that just got leaked or / announced, in case you guys are not in the loop and you love NL and you get excited for this. And then we're gonna do a I'm gonna showcase you guys a deck list that I think will be played in NL. In that deck list, we're also gonna be trying to predict future cards. There's not many, but we'll try to. And third, during that deck list showcase, I'll be telling you guys how to play the actual deck. I actually played some of the deck, by the way, before all of these latest cards got announced. I played on the dev version, and the deck does have some problems, and it does have some potential. Right now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I see more problems than potential, but I'm still gonna main the deck on OP15 because I just love this type of decks. Okay, I love purple. So let's get into it, shall we? First things first, showcase you guys every single card. First card, the leader. NL leader. Under the rules of this game, your Dawn deck is 6. Activate main once per turn. If it is your second turn or later, add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and set it as active, and add up to 4 rested Dawn cards from your Dawn deck. Then give up to 4 rested Dawn cards to one of your characters. So we already have some limitations, just like the Roger leader, which is our Dawn deck is 6. This also means we can only play smaller bodies, so the deck will need to compensate for that. Obviously, if you guys are in the loop, you guys already know we can already have that compensation. But the best part is the leader effect, actually, the activate main, which pretty much means is when you're on your second turn, you're already on max Dawn. So we cannot use that Dawn, it's rested. But at least on your third turn, you can already make a 6 Dawn plays. This, if you go second, is not that good, but if you go first, it is good, obviously. You're pretty much playing with +1 Dawn. That could be huge. And after that, we pretty much just keep ourselves at 6 Dawn. I think that little ramp on the second turn gives us some leeway to play with smaller bodies. And obviously the attach for Dawn. Okay? Let's go into our smaller bodies, which are our vassals or vessels. I'm gonna call them vassals. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. I will need to search up how to say this word. But yeah, our vassals. First one is the most simpler. Divine Soldier, if you have 6 or less Dawn. It's 6 or less Dawn on your cards on your field. This character gains blocker. So, because we only have 6 Dawn as a max, he is always a blocker. Pretty simple, and I think pretty good and pretty necessary to the deck. Let's just not try to define the strategy right now. Let's just read through the cards. Satori. On play, -1 Dawn, draw 1 card. When attacking, if you have 6 or less Dawn cards on your field, look at the 2 cards from the top of your deck and place them at the top or bottom of your deck in any order. So, again, activates every time because we only have 6 Dawn. And this will be the kind of the searcher that we have. Focus on this card. I'll come back to this card later once we read all the vassals we have. Next card is Shura. If you have 6 or less Dawn cards on your field, this character gains Rush. On play, Dawn is -1, draw 1 card. So this is our kind of sneaky swing, kind of more aggro play, is to play this guy with Rush and then just give him the Dawn and just bam. Just attack with him right away. Pretty good card. Again, focus on the draw and focus on Satori. Next card is Om. On play, Dawn -1, draw 1 card. When attacking, if you have 6 or less Dawn cards on your field, give up to one of your opponent's characters -1k power during this turn. Now, this, when attacking, obviously, once again, activates every single turn. Max Dawn is 6. But I'm gonna be talking about this when attacking, -1k power when I'm revealing my deck list. and to reveal what it can actually do with this. I believe this is more powerful than it first shows. Obviously, -1k power is kind of always good, you know, in a good amount of situations. But yeah, let's move on. Gadatsu, on play, Dawn -1, draw 1 card. On KO, if you have 6 or less Dawn cards on your field, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 2k power or less. So Obi and Gadatsu, it's, in my opinion, the the two effects are very overlooked. And once I reveal my deck list, I will show you guys what they can do. Now, we go into our animals. It's not our vassals, but it's only one animal right now that is revealed, which is Fusa. All of your Shura characters and this card gains unblockable. So our aggression with Shura becomes unblockable. That's very good, in my opinion. Upon a turn, set the base power of your Shura characters and discard to 6k power. So this means our Shura and discard will be harder to remove by battle. Because every one of our vessels are 2k power, this is actually a very good buff. So we actually have a body that may be able to stay on the field. And only that body will be unblockable. So yeah, pretty good. But for now, let's skip this right now, but I can come back to Satori now to tell you guys what I wanted to say. Every time you attack with him, you're looking at the 2 cards on the top of your deck. I don't think we're gonna have, we're gonna only have 1 turn to look, and then he's gonna get removed. If not, even better, to be honest, because as you guys saw, every single one of our vassals draws us 1 card. So this is kind of the best we're gonna have as a searcher. We look at the top 2 cards, we put them on the bottom or top, and then every card we play on the next turn will be drawing those 2 cards. So remember, next turn we're gonna have our draw phase, so we draw the first card that we're gonna put on top, and then when we play the next 1 cost, we'll be drawing that card. So if we see on the top 2 cards either one of our Enels, what we want to do is put that first. So on draw phase, we actually draw it, and then we can play it on with our 6th turn. I believe that's what we want to do with Satori. If not, I don't think it will matter the order, but we'll be drawing 1 card, and then we can play, if we want to, a smaller vassal again, to draw that 2nd card if we want. And we know exactly what's coming onto our hand. But usually what we want to do is place the card we want to see the most on our draw phase. So we place it on top. That's what I want to say on Satori. Sorry, I'm saying I'm kind of organizing the information. It's because I already recorded this for 40 minutes and it was all over the place, so I'm trying to organize the information better for you guys. Now, let's get into the event cards. This is the part that got me excited. First is Vari. I'm sorry if I'm saying the name wrong. Main turn, Dawn -1. If your leader is Enel, draw 1 card. Then up to one of your characters gains 2 cost until the end of your opponent's next turn. Okay, I think that's fine. This will not be that good of a buff into our smaller vassals, but it'll be a very good buff to our NLs, which are 6 cost, and then they just become a 8 cost, which is harder to remove for the blue color, which is usually the deck that removes by cost. Remember, by the time this deck gets released, Red Rock is no longer available. He will be rotated out, unless you're playing the Eternal format, but I'm not gonna get into that here. So this is actually a very good buff. It will not come up as much. I think will come up more is just to draw 1 card, so you actually just draw. Because it's a 0 cost advantage, just -1 Dawn. I don't really care because, again, leader effect. The leader effect, so it's pretty much just to keep drawing and cycling your hand to see what we actually want to see. But then you have the counter event part, which is up to one of your NL cards gains 2k power during this battle. So pretty much this is your 2k counter for the deck. And I love this. I love this idea of using events as 2k counters instead of characters. I think he has pretty good potential to give plus cost and draw 1 card, and then it adds more potential because it's a 2k counter that we can just keep it in hand and use it when we need it. I really love that. Next event is El Tor. Main turn, Dawn -1. If your leader is NL, up to one of your leader or characters gains 1k power during this turn. Then KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 3k power or less. Now, I think this has insane potential. The part of the KO, the KO, what the hell, KO, the KO. And this is where I'm gonna reflect the attention back to Ohm. Okay, for now, let's just keep this simple. Reflect back to Ohm. Ohm can help us with this. Okay, not only that, it gives a plus 1k power to one of our characters. So I believe we're gonna be using this on our Enel as well. But we can also make into our Shura if that Shura is unblockable. I believe the potential is there as well. And again, it's a 0 cost event, and we only -1 Dawn. I think that's also very good. It means we can chain it after the NL. Okay, we play one NL and then we can chain the events. I think that's very good. And then obviously, again, 2k counter event. I think that's insane. I really love that. I can't tell you how much I actually love the events are the 2ks. And then next and final, it's actually an Ultra Rare event, which is Mama Ragan. Hopefully I'm saying this right. I'm so sorry if I'm saying the names wrong. I don't remember how they said it in the show. Then, first, main turn, Dawn -2, draw 1 card, then rest up to one of your opponent's characters with 5k power or less. I'm gonna reflect the attention back to Ohm. Ohm will have good synergy with these last two events I'm talking, okay? We'll come back to Ohm, don't worry. And then counter. The counterpart of the event, the counter event, is give up to one of your leader or characters plus 1k power for this battle. Then, if you have 6 or less Dawn on your board, draw 1 card. So this is not as strong as the other counter events. It only gives 1k power, but to compensate for that, we draw 1 card. So it doesn't matter if we use it as on the main event, as a main event or as a counter event. It always replaces itself, which I think is the reason why they decided to give it ultra rare. I don't think this card should have been ultra rare. If it gave us 2k power, you know, if it was another 2k event and drew us a card to replace itself, then I would see the reason why it would be an ultra rare. But before this, I don't think it should be an ultra rare, but whatever. I'll accept that. Again, I'm very excited that the events have, all the events have a main effect and a counter effect. So, to be honest, I'll take this. This is obviously just, this card will be just to draw even more cards or to cycle more of our hand. We are not actually drawing, we are just cycling deck to see, again, hopefully our NLs, which I think are the whole core of the deck. Obviously, I think it's a pretty dead giveaway of this deck. But yeah, speaking of NLs, let's go into them, shall we? Let's go first to the NL Super Rare. If you have 6 or less Dawn cards on your field, this character cannot be removed by your opponent's effect and gains plus 2k power. And then, activate main Dawn -1, this character gains blocker until the end of your opponent's next turn. Then, trash 1 card from your hand. So, we have kind of a 5 Elder situation, where when we play an L, he cannot be removed by effects. So, this is extremely good. Not only that, he's bumping his power, so he's not actually an 8k power, he's a 10k power. We're playing a 10k for 6 Dawn. Not only that, because he does not have Rush, when we play him, we can actually trash 1 card, so since we cannot swing with him anyway, he will be a blocker during our opponent's turn, and it's a 10k blocker. In my opinion, guys, that's insane. Obviously, you know, it's kind of one of the ace cards we're gonna have here. And so, obviously they would give him a very good effect. The only problem I see with this card is we need to trash 1 card in hand. And as you guys can see, we do not draw that many cards. We actually just cycle them. Most cards replace themselves, and instead of this NL and the next NL that I'm gonna talk about, which is the NL Secret Rare. If you have 6 or less Dawn cards on your field, this character cannot be removed from the field by your opponent's effects and gains 2k power, exact same as the Super Rare. On play, Dawn -1, look at 5 cards from the top of your deck and add up to 1 card to your hand. Then, place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order and trash 1 card from your hand. Now, this is somewhat the searcher we got for the deck. Unfortunately, this searcher does not actually replace itself. Once again, we play 1 card from hand, which is this NL. This NL will search, but that search will then make us discard another card. So that means we actually go down 1 card instead of that card replacing itself. So both NLs right now are the cards that do not actually replace their own value. You actually are spending the card from hand to place it on the field, while all of the other cards pretty much that you play unless you play the counter, the events as counter, most of them. Most of the other cards actually, actually the events, most of them do not replace themselves, but the characters do. Most of the cards, that characters replace themselves, but these NLs do not. So we know we're gonna have to spend resources from hand because of these NLs. So now that we saw all the cards, I'm gonna pull up my deck list for you guys, and then we shall start to talk about the strategy of the deck. What you guys see right now is what I build up and what I believe will be played in the deck. So let's start with the strategy here. The strategy will be very similar to Red Law and Red Relay, where we play smaller bodies early turns. In case of Relay, we actually just play small bodies, but then we bump those small bodies with power. In this case will be our leader effect. In terms of Red Law is also the leader effect to make 6k swings consistently. We always are attaching 4 rest dot, so that's into a 2k body, that's 6k all the way. Then later in the game, hopefully we chain our NLs. We are playing 8, and this will be the decisive factor, is how many NLs we actually see and manage to play. We're gonna have to adapt because again, we don't actually have searchers. We have cards that draw. The only kind of searcher we have is the secret rare NL. And so I think the deck will have good consistency right now because everything draws, but I still think there will be times where you low roll and you won't find the NLs when you actually want to. And we're gonna have to do what we can do with what we have. So yeah, I think that would be the strategy. It's very simple. Play smaller bodies early turns. Later turns, hopefully we chain NLs or we play some other of the deck that I'm showcasing you guys here. That deck being Fusa to bump our Shuras and make them unblockable. The blocker Law, which since we do not actually draw cards, like we don't actually go up in hand size besides when we take lives, that's gonna be our main way to actually go up in cards in hand. I believe Law will also be good when we don't really find the NL or we don't want to play the NL this turn. We might as well play Law, and if they have 7 cards on their hand, we actually control their hand size as well. So both players will be at somewhat lower hand size, and so we are not at such disadvantage by having small hand size, which I think this deck does have a problem with, by the way. I tested this in the dev version, and the fact that we don't actually draw cards a lot, we only cycle cards, is kind of the biggest weakness, or the only weakness, to be honest, of the deck. I think the deck, if the deck drew a good amount of cards, the deck would be absolutely insane, by the way. But yeah, I think this will be our main strategy. Then we have the more technical side of the strategy. This is where we go back to Ohm. As you guys can see, we play Gamma Knife right now, and now I'm gonna try to predict 2 cards that are coming to NL. I'm gonna try to upload this video today, so in case I get this right, 2 cards. First card will be our last 2k event. So we already have two events that are our 2k counters. What I believe is we're gonna have to remove our Sanji over there. You guys can see our blocker Sanji, which is a 2k card that pretty much is a 3 cost because we only have 6 ton cards on our deck. So at some point he only becomes a 3 cost. And even if you have to play 6 cost for him, it's okay because, you know, it's a curve play, I guess. But yeah, right now I'm only playing 2, and I'm playing 3 of Gamma Knives. I believe Sanji and Gamma Knife will be replaced by this new event, which I don't know which attack is missing from NL. I think it's that Phoenix there, right? The Phoenix attack that he does. There's already a yellow event, actually, that has the name. I forget the name, sorry. And I think we're gonna remove these Gamma Knives and these Sanjis for 4 of that event that's coming up. And what I believe that event will do is it'll be a 0 cost event, but as a main effect will be -2 Dawn instead of 1 Dawn like Gamma Knife, and then you give one of your opponent's characters -6k power for the turn. Not 5k. I believe we're gonna be throwing away 2 Dawn to give minus 6k instead of paying instead of resting 2 Dawn and then removing 1 Dawn like Gamma Knife. And then you'll have the, as a counter event, will be just the 2k power to one of your Enel characters, so that will be your 2k counter. I believe this will be the card that's missing, the last event that we're gonna get. I think that's it, and I think it's gonna be that Phoenix, that Eagle attack, sorry, not Phoenix attack, that Eagle attack that he does, that it's an electrical Eagle. And I think we do not play Gamma Knife. If we don't get that event, then we play 3 Gamma Knives and 2 of the Sanjis, so we actually have somewhat of 2k counters to use. And then the Gamma Knife will be to have our to have synergy with Ohm and the other events that we have. This is where the deck can lean more into a control part. So Ohm gives the opponent's cards minus 1k power. Gamma Knife gives minus 5k power. And then we have Vari or El Thor that both either rest a 5k power or less, and it's not original power, by the way, or KOs a 3k power character. So I believe this is where Ohm will have his potential. If Ohm helps this event, this ghost event that still is to come, or helps Gamma Knife to decrease power of bigger bodies of your opponent, then Vari and El Thor will help you remove him. I think sorry. El Thor will be to remove, and then you have Vari, which is will be kind of our round table. So round table you usually like to use on a rested character that is very big, and then it just makes it easier to swing. In the case of this purple Enel, we'll be spending a swing on Ohm and a Gamma Knife, and then spending another card which will be Vari to rest that card, and then we can just swing onto it and it should be removed. Now, as you guys can see, if we do that combo, it will be 2 cards from hand plus a swing for Ohm. That is problematic because we don't have that many cards in hand. But if it is required, it is required. You need to do it, you know, it is what it is. It's a kill check on the pilot. If you need to spend more cards in hand, you need to spend those cards in hand. And then El Thor is if we manage to make it a 3 cost, then we just play the El Thor and KOs the 3k power. I think it's, yeah, it is El Thor that KOs body. So I think that's the potential of Ohm, and why I kept going back to Ohm. I think that this minus 1k power will be to help us KO things and rest things and whatever. And now let's go to the other card that I'm going to predict. This is also, again, related to Ohm. Just like Gamma Knife, which will be provided by that event, which will have synergy with Ohm, Ohm will have synergy with another card, which, in case you haven't noticed, my deck right now that I'm showcasing to you only has 48 cards. The other 2 copies of a card that it's going to be implemented in this deck will be a Holy. The Holy will be a common card, or whatever it is, rare, I don't care. That will be exactly like Fusa. Fusa makes all its own attacks and Shura's attacks unblockable. I believe Holy will make its own attacks, and Ohm's attacks double attack. And then on your opponent's turn will be the exact same as Fusa. Holy and Ohm will be a 6k power. I think those are the 2 copies that's missing from the deck, and I truly believe they are coming. Now, I would love to play 3 Fusas and 3 of these Holies if possible, but right now I believe we need to play that blocker law. If I see the deck is actually very aggro and actually takes a lot of cards in hand, maybe I'll remove the blocker laws to play 3 Fusas and 3 of the Holies that are coming up. But for now, I believe Law, it's very good. Also, if the event that I told you that we'll have, that will replace Gamma Knife actually comes, and we remove Sanji. Sanji is at 2 copies, and we only need 1 copy to make 4 copies of that event with Gamma Knife. That last copy of Sanji would go to Divine Soldier. I believe Divine Soldier at 4, I think we're gonna have to play him at 3 or 4, because again, we don't have that much resources in hand, so from time to time, we're gonna have to use that blocker. We're gonna have to play that Divine Soldier. And again, that means we are playing a card from hand, so again, low hand size, but at least when they make bigger swings, you don't give them 2 cards. We just block with Divine Soldier and that's it. Again, he is easier to remove, but I think that's the best we're gonna have. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So the deck should look like this. If the deck is actually incredibly aggro, just like Red Law, we do not actually need that many blockers, although Red Law does play the Keith blocker, which is insane in my opinion. We are not going to be playing that many blockers, but we'll be playing 4 Divine Soldiers, 3 Fusas, 3 Hollies of this Holly that I'm predicting right now. I think it's safe to assume that it's coming up. And then, if the deck does not have that much aggression, I will need to test the deck as full with all the cards released. I haven't done it yet, but if he's not that aggro, which right now he doesn't. For the test I did, it does not seem like it. We're gonna have to keep the 2 Laws to check their hand size and to have another blocker, and then we can only play 2 Fusas, 2 Hollies. That's pretty much it. I think Such is going to go away by that event. I think that event is safe to assume we're going to have another 2k counter event where we don't need to play Gamma Knife. I really think this Holly and this event will be coming up. I truly believe. Sorry. And then we play 4 Divine Soldiers. Now that I've told you guys the strategy, just to recap, we're going to have not Gamma Knife, an event that will be a 4 of, that is a 2k counter, and then on main event, -2 Dawn. Give a 0 cost event, by the way, -2 Dawn, give -5k or -6k power to one character. I think it's going to be -6k, but if it is 5k, fine as well. And then we're gonna have 2 Hollies there. And early game, we wanna play at least 2 smaller bodies. On the first turn will be Satori, the perfect one, because he'll be the one that on the next turn will be swinging, and we actually can see what's coming up in our top deck. And then on later turns, we'll just see what we get from hand. Gadatsu will have a potential in this, by the way, as well, if he's played on early game, because Gadatsu on KO will remove a smaller body. And if we remove a Searcher on the other side, it means that if they want to deal with our smaller bodies, they would have to spend a leader swing onto those smaller bodies, which pretty much makes all of our smaller bodies a pseudo blocker. That's where I think Gadatsu effect has potential, by the way. Thank God I remembered to come back to it. But yeah, early game we play our smaller bodies, and then on mid to late game, because we're gonna already be at max Dawn, we wanna either chain Enels, either of them, both are incredible, or we wanna use, and then later on the game maybe sometimes on let me keep this straight, sorry, I'm already going around this. On mid game we kind of want to chain our Enels. If not, we want to play our Fusa or our Holly. I believe Holly's coming up. I believe more in Holly than the 2k counter event, by the way. So it's like a bigger body that you can play that will buff either our Ohm and our Shura. Also, this decision on to play Fusa and Holly will not be very much of a decision. If we don't want to play Enel and we play one of them, we're gonna have to play the one that comes up in our hand, because we don't actually have Searchers. But if we can, we could decide. What I would do is on mid game, if we're going against decks that are like Roger or Emu, that cannot need to counter early because they need to stay healthy and then chain their big bodies. I think Holly, because I believe Holly will give a double attack. I think playing Holly will be better in that situation. But in decks that play a lot of blockers, like red, blue, ace, or purple kata, you know, but that's not a very good example. But you know, kind of decks that like to play a lot of blockers. The ace is the one that comes up to my head first, because he plays Marco and he loves to play the new gates. I think Fusa will be better. So if you can choose, we'll be adapting on mid game to that situation and just set up these 2 animals, and then our Shura or our Ohm will be having insane value against specific matchups. And then, you know, mid late game we kind of want to chain our NL. Mid to late game, we might have that decision to use our events to remove a bigger body. I believe will come up on late game more. For example, I can see this perfectly happening. For us to have a chance against Ace, instead of having like a red rock, which would be insane, we have to spend 2 cards in hand and we can remove one of their new gates. I think that would be good. I think that, you know, you're spending 2 cards in hand, but that would be fine by me because they spend 1 turn, putting 1 body, which will be that 10 cost new gate, that ace place. And then next turn, we'll be spending 2 cards in hand and we'll be removing it. And then hopefully we already have our Enel set up. So that means that's 10k swings all around, baby. 10k swings all around for free. And they have no blockers. So that, I think that will be very good value if we can do that. And yeah, now to finish up the game, the video, I already told you this is a deck list. I already told you how the deck list is going to change. I already told you the strategy that the deck is going to do. Now I want to tell you different variants of the deck. What you guys are seeing right now is a complete Straw Hats variant that I tried on the dev version. Because at the time we did not have every single, that many cards on the dev version, not even announced yet. I tried this version of Straw Hats and it is really good, by the way. So if you guys want to try it already on the dev version, go to my VASSALS Discord channel and you can download it there and try this version. This actually shows the potential of the leader effect. And the deck as it is, as you guys are seeing right now, has insane synergy between Straw Hats, and then you just have the Enel leader there just bumping your searcher from time to time from time to time just to make more swings. This was pretty good, but obviously we want to play on team, and I think playing on team will be the best. But if you guys want to try it, this deck list that I'm showcasing you guys right now, I think is actually better than what you can actually play with the cards that are on the dev version. But what I want you to take from this is some cards that I found out that I have incredible synergy with the deck. 2 cards actually. First card, and the one that is actually on this deck list, it's the Frankie. The Frankie is a blocker that when you play him, you minus 2 cards and then you discard 1 card and draw 2 cards. So it's a card that is actually replacing itself as well as setting up a blocker. This is really good, and again, because of our Enel effect, we actually, those minus 2 don't really care. And so it's a good card that we can kind of potentially look at if you want some other deck that is not... I prefer that blocker law, but if we really need that draw, maybe we play 2 of this Frankie. And another card that I want to bring up is a card that I forgot the name right now, and I don't have it in front of me. Which is the little cat from the Impel Down, which is a 4-cost rush character. And this is just to have more aggression. So it's a brick, yeah, true. But at least when you play it, you can just swing 5k, and then the 4 Dawn that you use to play it, you can use with leader effect to attach to a smaller body and make 2 swings, 3 swings if you count the leader effect, and that's really good aggression. So it's a card that needs to be considered. And yeah, this is it. The card, I don't remember the name, but I know you guys are seeing right now in the editing. And yeah. That is what I wanted to talk about. This is the strategy, this is the deck. I'm fully confident that the 2 cards that I just predicted will be announced sooner or later. And yeah, that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe. Comment what you think that if Enel will be good. I actually want to know if people actually believe in this deck. I do. Even if he's not good, to be honest, I'm gonna be playing him, man. I think this deck is gonna be so fun not to play. And I love purple. If you're a subscriber, you already know I love purple, man. And I love decks that you play for your leader and then the rest are just smaller bodies. I love that. I really do. I love red purple law because you're playing mid-range. We're actually playing big bodies. I love red law because you're playing smaller bodies and then you have bigger bodies to exchange power. I actually like Relay for the same reason, and I'm loving this deck for the same reason, man. I don't know, man. I like this type of decks. So this is a deck that I'm definitely building. It will be my main on OP15. So subscribe to see, because I'm gonna be uploading a lot of this deck. And yeah, see you all in the next video. Goodbye.